originally a teacher at Garcia Middle School out in Sugarland. So I teach 6th grade math over there, and I'll be doing 6th grade math course recovery. So you might hear that word a lot. Just another word for kind of like summer school, okay? So the goal for this this month, is to make sure that we catch up on any math content that we may not have gotten during the school year. So we want to make sure we're doing everything we need to and staying on top of our work. Okay, so if you don't stay on top of your work, it does get kind of, overwhelming to catch up. So I want to make sure everyone's doing all the work that they need to do. Alrighty, so we're going to be using a program called Edgenuity, okay? So that's a little logo for it. I'll explain how to log in just a few minutes. It's kind of like Schoology, okay? You'll see a math course come up, and you can go through all the lessons, and if you did some work online this last 9 weeks, it's almost just like that. But we'll be using a program called Edgenuity. If you look over here, it says that summer school is from today, June 8th, until June 25th at 12 p.m. There are no extensions. Okay, so if you don't finish your work by the end of, by June 25th, it's going to be a lot of work for you to do. Okay, you're going to have to, there's going to be other consequences like that. You have to have it all done before then. Now, the good thing is you can finish before June 25th. So if you're really adamant, you can finish your work a little bit early and you can get ahead of the game, right? You can finish it and you don't have to stay in summer school until the 25th. If you want to do all your work this week and next week, hey, you can finish and be done with summer school in 2 weeks, okay? But it's okay if you don't, because typically you should be able to, even with the time that we have. So let's look at this next spot. It says a typical summer school student should work Monday through Thursday at least 2 hours per day per subject. So for example, when I look at a summer school week, I'm only looking at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm giving you a 3-day weekend, okay? So you can work anytime during the day, anytime 7 a.m., 2 p.m., anytime during the day, it doesn't matter, okay? So you don't have to worry about it. But you want to work at least 2 hours each day. So 2 hours for each subject that you're doing. So if you're doing just math, you need to do at least 2 hours of math every single day. If you're doing math and English, you need to do at least 4 hours every day. Now, guys, I know some of you are going to wait until the last minute. Don't do that. It's way too much to do on, June 24th at 10 p.m. Okay? Don't push it. You have to make sure that you do, I'm going to emphasize this again, at least 2 hours every day. Now, that doesn't mean you can't do more. You can do 4 hours for every subject every day. You can do Monday through Friday instead of Monday through Thursday. Those are all okay. So it's really up to you, but that's the best method, at least 2 hours. All right. So how to work through your online course, okay? There's two kind of parts of it. The way that it works and that it's set up is that you have activities for each unit. So for example, there's a unit that you're assigned called dividing fractions, okay? There's 3 parts to it. The first part is a pre-assessment. Now, pre-assessment wants to see, do you know everything already, or do you need to do the actual lesson? If you do really good on your pre-assessment, okay, you pass with an 80, you don't have to do the whole unit at all. You get full credit for the entire unit. So if I were you, try to do the pre-assessment as best as you can. Okay, don't like rush through and just click A, B, C, D, put in random numbers. Try your best, okay? Because even if you don't do well, it's okay, because you'll do the lesson video and the practice questions after and then get credit. But try to do the pre-assessment. That's how it's set up. So try your best on it. Then there's a lesson video. So we'll go through a few videos explaining the concept. Now, there's an online feature where you can do notes, okay? And I'll show you in the other video in this orientation that we'll watch. But there's a spot where you can take notes. And the good thing is any online notes you take, you can use when you do the online quiz or online assessment or questions. So you can take your notes online in Edgenuity and then use it for any practice questions or your quiz. Another great way to do it is to do it on paper. Now, if you're doing your notes on paper, you need to keep up with it. So that means I need you to, at the end of our class or anything, you'll probably have to go ahead and send that to me. So I'll let you know how that works, but you want to make sure that you're keeping up with your notes. All right. The lessons are self-paced, so that means you can do anything at any time of the day. But again, try to do at least 2 hours a day. But that also means if you want to do 4 hours Sunday through Saturday, hey, you could probably get done with this class by next week instead of doing the whole month. Okay, guys? So it's up to you, but definitely keep that in mind. But it's self-paced. That means you don't have to be on exactly at 8 o'clock to do your work. You can come on at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever works for your schedule. Like, especially because I know a lot of you are at home, depending on your schedule. All right. Create a good study space so you can work well. So find a good spot in your home, maybe somewhere where it's a little bit quiet, where you can set up your device and note-taking, paper or whatever. That way that you can really focus. Because if you're in a loud environment or even somewhere where you're not organized, it's going to be hard to do the online lessons. So make sure you have a nice, good study space created. Now, how do you get help from me? Now, we have office hours. The way that office hours works is, your parents or your guardian got an email with the letter, okay? Okay, sorry, I was just finding one of the messages. So you will be getting an email. So the email that your parent or guardian got has a link for office hours. So let's say, for example, you did your lesson on fractions and you still don't understand how to do it. Come for office hours and I will explain in detail how to do the whole lesson. I have a little notepad and it's just set up in the same program called Teams. Okay, so if you have any issues, come for our Teams office hours and use your Microsoft login and email and join. Okay, now I'll be on every single day from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Okay, so if you need me to work out a problem for you, or you wrote down a problem like, hey, Mr. Daniel, I don't get this one. Come on office hours anytime, Monday through Thursday. Well, not anytime, but come on Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Now, you can use a messaging feature in Edgenuity as well, and I usually check those pretty often. Another great way is you can also email me, and that's my email address, okay? So kids, when you go into your Microsoft 365, there's usually a little button you can press, and you can go to Outlook, okay? Oop. Sorry, my phone. You can usually go to Outlook and it will be on there. So you can type in my email address, and if your parent or guardian got an email from me, you can use that email also. So a lot of great resources. Okay, and if you want, this is a great phone number. So if you want to write this one down, okay, 1-877-202-0338. Okay, that's a phone number you can call almost for the whole day if you have an issue in Edgenuity. So for example, let's say, for some reason the video is not showing up, or it keeps saying this notification, but I don't get it. You can call that phone number, and it's from Edgenuity, and they will go ahead and help you out with whatever you need. Like I said, I will be sending this out as an email, so if you're rushing to write anything down, I will also be sending it. Okay. Remember, for academic honesty, it's online work. Make sure you're honest. You are the one doing the work, nobody else. Work on your own. The only resources you can use are the ones in Edgenuity. You can use your e-notes or video notes you take down on a piece of paper. Some of you will have options and resources like that in Edgenuity. When you're communicating online, make sure you're respectful, appropriate, and professional. Okay, so when you're talking to me online, make sure you're using, respectful words, things like that. So you want to make sure, you say, hey, hi, Mr. Daniel, I have this question. Not, hey, yo, hey, mister, anything like that. Be professional with our online discussion. All right, almost through, guys. The rest will go very quickly. All right, you'll be graded on all the assignments, and you want to make sure that you get a passing grade for each thing. If you don't pass after 3 times, 3 is the number. If you don't pass after 3 attempts on an online quiz or online assignment, you have to get it unlocked from me. You kind of get frozen in your lesson. Okay, so you have to make sure you're trying every time. Don't be the person to try and plug in random answers and then, okay, I lost all my 3 chances. Okay, I need another one. No, you want to keep trying and doing your best. In other words, make sure that you take notes during the video notes and show your work on a piece of paper and work it out. Don't try to do all the math in your head and then put an answer there, okay? Make sure you're using every time effectively, and you only get about 30 minutes for every online quiz, okay? So make sure, again, that you're practicing. Now, there's two grades in Edgenuity that you'll see, an actual grade and an overall grade. You want to focus on the actual grade. That's the grade I'm going to be putting in Skyward. So you want to make sure that you're passing. That's more than a 70, okay? So your actual grade will mean any zeros are plugged in if you skipped an assignment or anything like that. And your actual grade is the one I'll be plugging in. Overall grade means how you're doing so far. So it only grades out of the ones that you did well. Okay, no zeros are included. So just remember, you want your actual grade because that's the one that's going in the Skyward. Overall grade just means how you're doing essentially with the class. Okay. So I'm going to quickly go through how to log into Edgenuity, okay? So these are the steps. I'm going to just quickly read through it because, you know, y'all can read through it also. You don't have to do it right now, but all you have to do is go to clever.com, okay? Then there's going to be an option if you look over there. It says, I don't know if you see my mouse or not, but it says login as a student on the top right corner. You click on it. Then you need to type in the name of your school, okay? So, for example, if you go to Dulles Middle School, type in Dulles, and it'll show up as Dulles MS, okay? Some schools you have to write the full name. For example, Macario Garcia, you have to write Macario, and then it'll show up. Or Baines, you need to type in Billy Baines. I think it's almost all of them. I think Ronald Thornton, you also have to type in the full name. So you want to make sure that you put the full school name there. Okay, Angel, give me just a second. I'm going to go through 2 more slides and I'll get your question. So you type in your school name there. After you type in your school name, it'll show up as Fort Bend ISD at the top. Once it shows up as Fort Bend ISD on the top, you click in login, okay, login with LDAP. Then your student login is your lunch number or your ID number and your computer password or your Schoology password. Okay, so all you do is your username is your lunch number, so whatever 6-digit lunch number you have, and then your password is like your Schoology password. Okay, after that, you click login, and you'll see an icon for Edgenuity. Click on that icon, and then you have to watch another little 2-minute video, but then it'll open up Edgenuity. Okay, so again, go to clever.com. And then use the username, which is your lunch number or student ID, and then your login is your computer password. Okay? All right, Angel, what was your question? You can either turn on your microphone and ask, or you can type it in the chat box. All right. Correct. You're using your home school. So whatever your home campus is, because if you type in summer school or Fort Bend ISD summer school, it won't show up. Okay? Awesome. Good question. So use your home campus. So wherever you're originally going to for middle school. So don't put Garcia because I'm from Garcia. You're going to put wherever middle school you go to. Good question. Okay. So let's keep going. This is going to be the last thing that we watch, okay? And then that'll be pretty much it. I'll answer a few other questions after that. This video we're going to watch all together, and it is a great way to understand how Edgenuity works. So the link is there, but we're going to watch it together because it goes through exactly what Edgenuity looks like and how to go through a lesson. So we're going to listen to it. I'm going to play it on your screen, so give me just a few seconds, okay? We're going to go ahead and watch that, and if you have any questions, write them down or let me know. So give me just a minute, and we'll go ahead and watch that. Okay, I think we see, okay. All right.
Welcome to Edgenuity, where learning clicks. Once you've logged in, you'll see a tile for each course or program you currently have active.
Sorry, really quick, can everybody hear? Can anyone message on the chat box? Let me know that they can hear. You can just say yes, anything like that. I'm thinking everyone can hear. Awesome.
Welcome to Edgenuity, where learning clicks. Once you've logged in, you'll see a tile for each course or program you currently have active. Each tile will give you some information about your progress and achievements so far. If you're on track, your progress will appear in blue. If you're ahead, you'll see your progress in green. But if you see your progress shown in red, it means you've fallen behind. You'll need to put in some extra time to get caught up. On some tiles, you can also view your course grade. Notice that this student has an overall grade of 95% in foundational math. That means they're currently earning an A on the work they've completed so far. Great job! It's almost time to get started in your online course. Remember to keep these tips for success in mind. First, take notes on what you're learning. You might use e-notes and you might use a pen and paper, but rephrasing what you learn in your own words helps you pay attention and remember what you've learned. Second, stay on pace. Make sure your progress bar is in the blue or even in the green. If you fall too far behind, it gets hard to catch up later. Ask for help when you need it. If you don't understand something, tell your teacher. He or she can explain it in a different way and point you toward other online resources. You are responsible for your own success, but you don't have to do it alone. And finally, avoid plagiarism. It's never okay to copy and paste other people's work and submit it as your own. Even if you find text online and you don't know who the author is, you do know that the author isn't you. You can't pass someone else's work off as your own. So always cite your sources or rephrase ideas in your own words. Now we're ready to jump into a lesson. To get started, you can click Next Activity, or you can click anywhere else on the tile to go to the course map. Click a tile to go to the course map now. This is your course map. From here, you can view the entire structure of your course. If your teacher has set a target date for you, you can check the due dates in your course map to see exactly what you need to do each day to stay on track. As long as you complete all your assignments for the day, you'll stay on pace. You can also view your e-notes here. As you work through the course, you may see alerts appear. For example, if you fall behind, you'll see a message telling you how much work you need to do to catch up. If you have feedback from a teacher, you'll see an alert like this. And if you forget to submit an activity for your teacher to grade, you'll see a reminder like this. Don't forget to submit your work once you finish it. A few other helpful things to notice. Want to switch courses? You can navigate among your active courses right here, or go back to the home page. Need help using Edgenuity? Visit the Help Center, where you'll find videos, resources you can download, and frequently asked questions. On the course map, most activities will show up as grayed out and locked unless your teacher has allowed you to move freely throughout the course. To work on any activity that's unlocked, click the activity title. This activity is a warm-up or introduction. Let's take a look. This activity starts with a video. You can pause and rewind the video at any time using the video controls here. If you've already watched the video the whole way through once, you can fast forward to the part you want to see again. However, you can't fast forward through any video segment you haven't watched yet. You do need to watch every video once all the way through. You can control the volume here. And you can turn captions on here. It's important to know that most of the important information you'll be tested on will be taught here in the videos. So pay attention and take good notes. You'll find your e-notes or digital notebook here. You can take notes at any time. Pause the video if you want to, or if you're a fast typist, you can take notes while the teacher is talking. Once you add a note to your notebook, you can go back and edit it if you need to. Just click the note and it'll appear in the e-notes text box. Edit your note and click Save. Now you may find that you want to add more to your notes. In advanced mode, you can use formatting tools like tables, an equation editor, a symbol palette, and bulleted lists. We find that students who take notes tend to do better on quizzes and tests. Taking the time to write down the important ideas in your own words will help you process and remember what you learn. So use your eNotes. Another helpful tool is the glossary, found on this second tab. All the vocabulary words for the lesson will appear here, but you can also look up any word you want. To go back to the lesson word list, just close the word lookup window. The third tab contains a transcript of the current activity. You can view this transcript in English, or you can translate it into any supported language, as long as you have the translation enabled. Just open the transcript and select your language here. Sometimes the video will pause, and you'll be asked to complete a task. On any task, you can use the tools in your toolbar. In math and science courses, you can use the built-in calculators to solve problems. Depending on the course, you might have access to a standard calculator, a graphing calculator, or other specialized calculators.
Now, I'm not sure if you will have access to a calculator, but if you see one in the course, it allows you to use it, then you may. But I want to say that it will not be enabled.
In any course, you can highlight text. This can help you pay attention as you read, especially when you're asked to read extended articles and stories. If you have Read Aloud enabled, you can hear text read aloud. Just highlight what you want to hear and press the Read Aloud button.
The runner travels.
If you have translation enabled, you can change the languages of most on-screen text here. Some of these languages also work with the Read Aloud tool, so try it out.
Il grafico mostra la distanza.
Now, when you want to leave an activity, just click the Home button in the upper left corner of your screen. Don't worry, we'll always save your work. When you come back to the activity, you'll be able to pick up where you left off. Now it's time to get started in your online course.
Awesome. So that's Edgenuity kind of like in, a quick summary, okay? So with that Edgenuity, it is pretty straightforward. Like I said, it is kind of just like sorry, I didn't get my spot back. It's just like using Schoology, okay? Now, you want to make sure, like I said, that you are keeping on track with it, okay? That's one thing I wanted to point out. When it says going on track, your course is already set to end on June 25th. So it'll tell you, hey, you're on task. Hey, you're falling behind. So you want to make sure that you're staying on task, doing all the work that you need to and keeping up with that, okay? Now, it says, just a couple of expectations, and I'll take questions, because I see, Denver, we have a question. It says you need to make sure that you are logging in daily, okay? So log in every single day, and you should be doing work online, okay? Now, Monday through Thursday, you should be. Now, you get Friday, Saturday, Sunday as your kind of weekend, but at least every day, remember 2 hours. If you check your status of the class, are you on target? Are you falling behind, or are you moving ahead? If you're on target or moving ahead, great, keep it up. But if you're falling behind, you got to make sure, mom and dad are going to have access, or a parent or guardian will have access to Edgenuity. I won't be messaging and pestering, hey, do your work every single day. You have to make sure that you're checking online. Parent or guardian has to make sure that they're checking online, that you're staying on top of it. Okay, because this is summer school. You're already catching up on credit. So in order to get your credit for your math class, you got to make sure you're doing that. If you have questions, like I said, you can either message me in Edgenuity. There's a little email feature at the very top, or you can send me an email. That's the best way, okay? If you have an email, just put something in the subject, otherwise it won't send it to me. Send your subject question or, Monday lesson or whatever, and then type in an email message there. Or you can message me in Teams. Some of you know how to use Teams, this software. You can send me a message using the chat feature in here. Okay, so it's only 3 weeks, guys. I have full faith that y'all all be able to do great and pass summer school, but you got to put in some effort. Okay, we got 3 weeks, no extension, so make sure that you're using your time wisely. Okay, so I'll answer a few questions and then we'll kind of call it a day. All right. Denver, I see that you have a question. You can either turn on your microphone and ask, or you can open the chat box and ask. All right. So Denver, like I said, if you want to enable your microphone, or you can type in the chat box, up to you. Okay. You can ask your question, Denver. I think your microphone's turned on. Okay. Maybe we have some technical difficulties. Maybe. Okay, that's okay. So Denver, if you want to stay on, you can ask me that question in a minute. If you're still having a question, or you can write it in the chat box while we wait. Does anybody else have any questions for me? Anyone need me to explain anything else, or expectations for summer school? All right, guys. If there are no other questions, like I said, you can go ahead and get started with your Edgenuity course today. Okay, so just as a reminder, your login to clever.com, your username is there, and is your lunch number, and then the computer password is your login for Edgenuity. Okay, so good luck, guys. Go ahead and you can click the little hang up button if you'd like, and that'll be it for today. All right. Have a great day, guys.